Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's daily recap, Friday, September 25th. Market seeing lower today, but before we get into trading, I want to mention Finance Festival. It is around the corner, November 6th to the 8th in Miami. We're about 6 weeks out, and we are really, really excited. We actually added Danielle DiMartino Booth today to our festival. She is one of many, many speakers, and I'm going to get to the speakers right here. David Kodak, Josh Brown, David Rosenberg, of course, my friend Todd Harrison. You have famed economists, famed money managers, very, very well-regarded minds in the world of trading, the economy, monetary policy, active trading, technical analysis, and everything in between here. And this is an event that I really, really strongly welcome everybody to attend. There's really nothing like it, in my opinion, which is the reason that we decided to do it this year. My friend James Cranebaker, who's an expert on sentiment data and how to use that for trading. So some really, really amazing presentations in store. And if you haven't seen the agenda in terms of the event, really take the time to go through it. There is some amazing, amazing presentations in store. And Danielle is going to be moderating a debate between, right here, the discussion is the Fed wise or wayward, and that's really a debate between Mark Dow, who's a former policy economist for the U.S. Treasury and the IMF, and John Succo, who was a very, very well-regarded money manager, now a professor at Indiana. So if you are not here, then you are going to miss what I believe will be the marquee event for all things finance for what will be this year. And if that's not enough, we're going to have a big festival. Again, it's a festival. It's not a conference. This is all about networking, social engagement, great content, extreme intellect, and a great way to, like I said, meet some of your friends and people in the industry that you may not have a chance to get to work with and talk to. So really an amazing event. Just to the down here, we added a Saturday conference ticket. So for those of you that can only attend Saturday, which is really the big day plus the party, we added a ticket for you. And if you put the promo code in here, FinFest, one word, FINFEST, you'll get a special discount on everything. So take a look through. Time's running out here. Get yourself down to Miami. No better place to be, especially in early November. And I look forward to having you all there. Now, that being said, let's talk market. SPYs opened up today, and it's been a real choppy last 5-6 trading days. A lot of gaps, a couple of gap downs here, mostly marking some of this downward movement since we peaked up here. Now, I've been very, very I've stuck to my guns, rather, on what I thought the market was doing and why. And today, I think, even adds a little more fuel to that fire in that, we found a little bit of a support level yesterday. As yesterday, we traded lower, market then finding a little bit of support. And by way of gap up this morning, trading into this declining 8 and selling off today. Now, not so bad as I saw banks hanging in there. We look at the XLF. And some of the banks, some of the financials, gapping up today and pretty much holding those gap ups. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all those names kind of hanging in there. But on the flip side, we saw biotech. And look at the IBBs. After peaking, again, we saw this strong sell-off. We get an ABC correction, and then the selling resumes. Now, if we go up a time frame and we look at the weekly, again, that strong sell-off leads to a violent snapback. That snapback into now averages that flatten out, and sellers really taking command this week as biotech's just getting absolutely obliterated. Now, the selling's been fast and furious here, and now that we've had this big move down, I suspect, again, you might see a little early follow-through in the next week, but we could be in the cards for a little bit of a bounce back. You might see a little lower here, and then the biotech start to turn back. But I do think the landscape for biotechs has radically changed, and I think the approach to trading it should be very, very different, as multiple time frames are now confirming that. So as we go around the horn today, selling really taking control. Some of the high beta stuff still hangs in there. You have the Amazons of the world. Did see some selling today. Chipotle still hanging in, AutoZone making new highs. So there is still, some diamonds in the rough out there. Obviously not necessarily the easiest market to trade, but there are some, paths of strength. Although I say not too many. The Apples of the world and some of the big name technology stocks, haven't really done much since Apple, as an example, since selling off, snapping back. It's been pretty much a sideways trade. Hasn't really been much. Looks like we have a little bit of resistance that built today. You could see sellers stepping in early in today's session, although I wouldn't make much more of it until we really start to see some volume come in. This is one of those trades that certainly this bounce may have run its course here as we look at Apple. And should we see a break of this is a weekly of a prior week's low, that could ultimately be the arbiter of some sort of larger turn down here. So be very, very careful in navigating this tape. This is a tape for those that know how to trade on the short side, in my opinion. This is a tape that is built and designed for those that have a very structured plan, that have a good technical wherewithal, and can navigate these waters with the right mindset. If you are not of that ilk and you don't think that those words apply to you, then this is a tape that can wreak a lot of havoc on a P&L. And obviously in a Friday recap, I don't want to sit and go through 50 stocks, but I think it's worthwhile to note that, I do think things have changed. I think the landscape has shifted. And even if I go back to the spiders and we talk about the S&Ps, and I've said this in multiple videos, if you look at the weekly chart going back as early as 2013, right here, this market's been, as we look at these averages, just our 8 and 21, and I've talked about this, you've had rising averages, a rising 8, which is the blue, above a rising 21, and that has now shifted. That has changed. So clearly price is taking a different sort of shape here. I've talked about various patterns. I've talked about things that I see happening. I've talked about mostly in my nightly off the charts videos where I see the market going, why, and various scenarios that could potentially play out. So make sure you're plugged in. Make sure you're approaching the market tactically and with the right mindset. And I hope that you are taking advantage of opportunity, because price movement, especially fast price movement like you're seeing, presents opportunity to make money. And as an active trader myself and somebody that works with lots of active traders, that's what you should focus on. And that's sort of the driving force behind why I put the emphasis in some of the things that I say. So that's going to wrap it up. Just a quick little overview video. Again, I want to highlight the festival. We are sort of on the clock here. And if you are interested, you want to know more, give sales a call, 888-998-3548. Or you can look everything up right here on our landing page, t3live.com/festival, with the promo code FINFEST, one word. All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.